Out we go. Before you even throw the punches, your stance must be right as far as your pivot. You start off with your pivot, get on your pivot, and it's light. The jab goes like this. This is exactly how the jab go. Jab.
Counterpunching. But overall, I have to say Crawford. If you go down the list and ask me about tactical advantages, most of them are Crawford.
Floyd Mayweather recently paid a visit to Terence Crawford's training camp, offering valuable insight on how to defeat Canelo Alvarez. Drawing from his own experience beating Canelo in 2013, Mayweather emphasized the importance of speed, elite defense, and precise counterpunching. His advice could provide Crawford with a crucial edge as he prepares for what may be the most pivotal fight of his career against the bigger, more physically dominant Alvarez.
You bring the hook with it. You can go to the body. Jab. Just double jab. Triple jab.
A recent press conference, Canelo Alvarez didn't hold back when evaluating Terence Crawford's resume. He claimed that Crawford hasn't faced truly elite opposition and suggested that Crawford has yet to encounter someone of his caliber. Canelo's remarks weren't just bravado, they were a calculated psychological move aimed at sowing doubt. In Crawford's mind, the comments also reflect Canelo's confidence in his legacy and his belief in the experience gap between himself and his challenger.
The last fighters that you fought, they ain't on my level. And
I fought everybody.
The last fighters you fought since
Everybody.
2002.
Mention me one. You
Since
mention me one
2002.
elite fighter. Just one.
You.
Oh, me.
Look,
It's gonna be me.
I don't
And
care
you
about
will-
anybody else.
And you will see that.
You. So when I beat you, is you gonna be a nobody? When I stump a mud hole in your ass, is you gonna be a nobody? Same everybody else been saying since I moved to 147, I ain't fought nobody. Every last one of them stump a mud hole in their ass and he gonna be next. Watch.
Boxing analyst Max Kellerman offered a sharp breakdown of the upcoming clash. He highlighted how Crawford's jab has become one of the most effective weapons in the sport today. While Canelo once had a similarly effective jab, Kellerman noted that it has diminished over time. He argued that Crawford's speed and precision now give him a clear advantage in that department. Kellerman also pointed out that Crawford's tactical IQ could pose serious problems for Alvarez, who often leans on his natural size and power. This fight, he suggested, could come down to brains over brawn.
Best jab.
Crawford.
Best defense.
Crawford. Nowadays, Crawford. I would say early in the fight, Canelo. And earlier in his career, Canelo. But he hasn't been that kind of fighter in recent years. Although Crawford is also hittable. With any fighter, when you talk about their defense, the question is not, can they be hit with a shot? You take punches. Everyone, the greatest defensive fighters ever get hit. Pernell Whitaker, Willie Pep, Floyd Mayweather, they all get hit. The question is, can you hit them with combinations? And both guys are hard to hit. With the two-piece, hard to hit.
So who has the best footwork out of the two?
In terms of cutting off the ring, last fight notwithstanding, Canelo has gotten much better at cutting off the ring. But, early in his career, he had a problem with that and was much more comfortable counterpunching. But overall, I have to say Crawford. If you go down the list and ask me about tactical advantages, most of them are Crawford. What Canelo has is size, and as a result, physical strength and punching power. Canelo also has a great chin. But in terms of, if you want to go skill for skill, especially the recent version of Canelo, who's had to turn into a seek and destroy guy, who had to learn as his career went on to cut off the ring and not just follow guys around. Like Lara, Trout, Floyd, he followed those guys around. He had trouble because he's really a natural counterpuncher who wants you to come to him.
Nico Ali Walsh, grandson of Muhammad Ali, has publicly voiced his support for Terence Crawford. He praised Crawford's character, discipline, and in-ring intelligence, calling him a fighter worthy of being mentioned among the sport's all-time greats. Ali Walsh's endorsement is a reflection of the growing respect Crawford commands within boxing's historic circles.
people with Canelo before Canelo's last fight, but then after Canelo's last fight, it seems like it's more 50-50 now. So everything is just the build up for that fight is just going to be absolutely magnetizing. Like that fight, it's garnered so much more buzz after Canelo's last fight, and Bud is Bud. He's one of the greatest fighters in boxing history. He is one of the greatest fighters in boxing history. So it's going to be a fight. It's going to be awesome to watch.
Have you sparred any of them?
I haven't sparred Bud yet. I haven't been in Canelo's camp. I've met Canelo a few times. I love Canelo's team. Canelo's one of my favorite fighters. He's been my favorite fighter for the longest time. But you know, I have to be Team Bud because me and Bud are cool, and I have so much belief in Bud, and I know who he is as a fighter. He is one of the greats. So he could do anything you know, he wants.
And being around both of them and seeing how they work and train and things like that, what makes both of them the fighters they are, in your opinion?
I've watched Bud, so for Bud in particular, he's calm in everything he does, and that kind of calm is scary to watch because it shows experience. You can see that he's been doing this for decades.
Canelo Alvarez has acknowledged Crawford's skill with professionalism. He remarked that at the elite level, weight classes start to matter less because great fighters can adapt. Canelo made it clear that he is preparing at full intensity, knowing that facing Crawford will require more than just natural advantages. His comments show both respect for Crawford and an awareness that this fight will demand peak conditioning and a strategic approach.
Smaller guy, and why do I need to fight this guy? For you, what changed? Tell me about the moment where you're like, you know what? Maybe I'll do this. This sounds like a good idea.
No, if you're thinking about it, look how big turns this fight. It's a big fight. No, that's why it made me change. But you know, I've been in key situation before, jumping weight classes, and when you're a good fighter, that doesn't matter. So I'm not gonna focus on that. I'm gonna focus on training very hard because Crawford is a very good fighter.
Yeah, tell me about your experience with that, because now it's reversed. He's coming up in weight. What could be dangerous? What aren't we seeing that maybe you see in this fight?
No, everything. He's a good fighter. Obviously, I know that, and I need to be careful. I need to be careful in everything.
Boxing commentator Showbiz the Adult offered a balanced view of the matchup. He praised Canelo's strength and the intense nature of his training camps, which have contributed to his sustained dominance. At the same time, he acknowledged Crawford's ability to read opponents and adjust, a skill sharpened by his wrestling background. Still, Showbiz gave Canelo a slight edge due to his size and wealth of experience.
And Canelo uses his legs, he uses his core, and then his neck itself to lift up Bivol like Bivol was a featherweight. That is a huge representation of how strong Canelo is. When you look at his workouts, you can tell why he was able to do that. All these damn neck exercises that I wouldn't dare do. Okay, that stuff looks painful. The squatting and all that stuff that he's doing is exactly why Canelo Alvarez, honestly, is a strong fighter. He tried to do it again with William Skull. William Skull shook out of it, but he is a bull. Listen, Terence Bud Crawford is strong. He is, okay? And he understands leverage, and he understands those things because he wrestled. Honestly, very true. But Saul Canelo Alvarez is also extremely strong. Now, let me know how you feel in the comments below. We're in the zone, war room.
Heavyweight fighter Urel Big Baby Miller shared his personal hopes for the fight, expressing strong support for Crawford. He pointed to Crawford's hunger and determination, noting that those intangibles could be enough to overcome any physical disadvantages. Miller dismissed concerns about size, emphasizing that heart and willpower often make the difference in the biggest moments.
Crawford, huge fight September 13th. Who do you think's gonna win that?
I'm pulling for Crawford in this one. I think people was underestimating his strength right now and his size. And I think he's a little more hungry than Canelo. So let's see though, but I like both guys, but I'm more a little closer to Crawford, so I want to see if Crawford can take it.
Many boxing analysts agree that Crawford's strategy will be the key to victory. This is not just another fight, it's a potential career-defining moment. A win over a champion like Alvarez would silence any remaining doubts and elevate Crawford's legacy. To achieve that, he must rely on precision, patience, and adaptability, avoiding unnecessary risks and fighting with supreme discipline.
He understands that he has to be smart. And I think with this one specifically, it ain't just about being smart. He knows he has to look like he's never looked before, because again, if he doesn't and he beats Canelo, everybody's just gonna say, well, that's Crawford, you know? So I think he knows that this is the performance of a lifetime and everything has to look right. He knows in order for it to look right, he can't just go out there and let the dog go. The dog is, you know, he gotta work his way up to the dog. Hey, show the clip real quick. I don't know if you showed it already, but this is the dog you're talking about right here, right? And so this is, I pulled this clip right here. I seen it on social media this morning.
Don't do that. That's what I'm saying.
And I pulled this clip, right? But this is Terence.
That's who he is.
He's not gonna swing on Canelo. He already know that part of the game. But what I asked you, were you ever trying to send a message to your opponents? He's letting you know, and it's no act. And that's what I really wanted to show, is that's not an act.
No.
That's not, there's 30 security guards.
Oh, it feels a little contrived.
You think so?
I think a lot of people feel it's a little like.
Well, I'm glad you used a big word that most of us don't know.
Hey, I don't fight as good as you guys. I had to learn some big words, right, to make up for that.
Don't look it up. Just ignore what
you need big words to get out of fights. You know, you need big words to get out of fights. But you know, okay. So case in point, our guy Hafey, sitting right there, producer extraordinaire. He had a picture of Terence Crawford in New York.
Crawford's ambition is clear. He's willing to take big risks, including going for a knockout against a larger, stronger opponent. His prior success at 154 pounds has given him confidence that he can handle the leap to 168. Though it's a major step up, Crawford's technical skill and experience suggest that he won't be.
Bud Crawford is taking his undefeated record, putting it on the line, daring to be great, to try and knock off Saul Canelo Alvarez from his throne and go and try to do something that no man has ever done, and that is to be a 3-division undisputed champion. That's a tall task. We know that Canelo Alvarez has fought fighters way bigger than Bud Crawford. It's actually one of the biggest talking points in this fight is the size. Canelo Alvarez has fought guys like Bivol. He's fought guys like Kovalev. He's fought guys like Billy Joe Saunders. He's fought really big fighters who are established at their weight classes all the way up to light heavyweight. And we know that Bud has come from a smaller weight class, being a champion all the way down at the 135-pound division into 140, 147. But as you can see in the tail of the tape, Bud is actually taller. Bud actually has a bigger reach. And quite frankly, he did most recently fight in the 154-pound division. And I don't think he will struggle to make weight to be at 168 and fight as a super middleweight. The question is, though, is bone structure. Who's going to carry that weight more effectively? We know that Canelo Alvarez has been in the weight longer. And as I mentioned, he's fought bigger guys. It's really something amazing for Bud if he's able to pull this off.
Contender Edgar Berlanga offered encouragement for Crawford, advising him to stick to what's worked throughout his career rather than trying to overcompensate for the size gap. Berlanga pointed out that moving up to weight divisions naturally evens the playing field. He emphasized that win or lose, Crawford is showing immense courage by taking on a challenge of this scale.
First of all, he got to go in there and he just got to fight him. You know what I'm saying? He got to go in there. I think Crawford just got to go in there and do what he got to do. You know what I'm saying? He got to just be Crawford, you know, show his IQ. show him why he's a two-time undisputed, world champion, and going there with confidence. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. It's a big weight difference, a big weight jump. That could be a difference in the fight. Because obviously, it's like me jumping up to heavyweight. Obviously, I'm a foot of power. I'm a foot of that size difference, compared to my other fights. So I just think that he got to go in there and just be himself. And I said, if he loses, we'll just all know that, hey, he just jumped up 2 weight classes to be great. You know what I'm saying? It's not, he's testing himself. He's testing himself a great fighter. So, and I don't doubt him. I don't got no doubt in my mind. He's a 2-time undisputed world champion for a reason. So, and I don't think none's gonna phase him in that fight. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the power, maybe the size. You know what I'm saying? And Canelo, he's not knocking Canelo out. So, he just got to go in there just IQ.
Would you lean towards Canelo still in that fight?
I got faith in him. I think Crawford could do it. You know what I'm saying? I think he could do it. Just like I said, just the size. The only shit that throws the fight off is the size and obviously the power, and Canelo's IQ too, because Canelo got IQ. You know what I'm saying? And Canelo fought a lot much bigger guys. So I know the Crawford's power ain't gonna phase him. I know Crawford's size ain't gonna phase him either. You know what I'm saying? So, but for me, I think it's a 50-50 fight.
Veteran boxing voices Gareth Davies and Duke Kenzie agreed that this fight stands out in today's boxing climate, where top fighters often avoid each other. They described it as a rare showdown between 2 modern greats. Their discussion centered on how Crawford's ability to make mid-fight adjustments is one of the reasons fans and experts believe in him. That adaptability, reacting, adjusting on the fly, could be the difference in neutralizing Canelo's power and experience.
Really this is a huge fight coming up. I really like Terence Crawford. I think, like we were talking about coaches breaking down film. I think that Terence does a good job of that, breaking his opponent down, hit the fight. I think that he does a good job of adjusting. I do think that, Canelo is a big feat ahead of him, because I also like Canelo. It's kind of one of those things who do I like more that night? It's gonna be a really good fight. I like both of them. I think that, that is something that I think women's boxing does a good job of, is putting on fights like that. We'll fight whoever. So I think it's cool to see the men starting to do more of that, like it historically has always been.
Junior middleweight star Tim Chu shared a candid assessment of the matchup. He noted that, while Canelo's style can be somewhat predictable, it also creates opportunities for a cerebral fighter like Crawford to exploit. Chu also addressed the press conference tension, suggesting that much of the pre-fight animosity is promotional rather than personal. Still, he believes Crawford's skill can outshine Canelo's size. Crawford, aware of the stakes, knows this is a chance to define his legacy. The magnitude of the moment has only heightened the pressure surrounding the bout.
Almost made him this great. Do you think that this is a similar thing for your fight now at this point in your career, stepping up and facing someone like Canelo? Does this kind of make you unbeatable and this figure that will just go down in history?
I don't know. I don't know about comparing it to his situation, but it will be a situation where I'll be talked about for many decades to come, and definitely go down in the history books as one of the best fighters to ever lace up the glove.
Terence Crawford has spoken with cautious optimism about his chances, estimates a 70% likelihood of victory, a confident yet realistic outlook. It reflects both respect for Canelo's experience and belief in his own preparation, skills, and game plan.
Are you 100% certain you're going to win?
We never 100%.
What percentage are you?
70.
To say 70% chance, it just doesn't sound that confident. But I want to say this, though. He was being true. He knows how important this fight is. And it's that important because it is very difficult. So him saying this is difficult, and I'm giving myself a 70% chance, which is why I'm doing it. It is not because I'm bigger than him and this is easy and I'm stronger than him actually and people don't understand that I'm more skillful. No, he's a beast and this has never been done.
And this is not a sure thing. And that's why I'm so eager to do it. That's the definition of greatness. That's why he should be on the Mount Rushmore if he accomplishes. That's why Terence Crawford is brave.
Wraps up today's breakdown. Stay tuned for more updates as the countdown to Canelo versus Crawford continues.